It's like an old grandparent of yours at one point saying, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you choose, what field you choose to go in, what profession you decide to follow. Whatever you do, be the best at that one thing, though. For Chance, from the moment that he stepped on the mat and began at a young age, that was his one thing.
You ready?
Wrestling is an extreme sport. I'm an extreme person.
Come in, your whole body!
In order to understand me, you had to understand wrestling.
You get in his face right away and you will break. You understand?
I kind of started wrestling about the time I was 8 years old. I loved wrestling, so like you didn't have to force me to do it.
With Chance, it was always very straightforward. It was whoever's in front of him, he's going to beat, and then he goes on to the next guy, he's going to beat that guy.
It's hard to be great at stuff like without like an extremity, I think. Like it's hard to be great at stuff without like a true like love or care or want or fire.
Good for him, Chance.
And then he goes on to the next guy, he's going to beat that guy. We got to not pack so heavy on the way out to a tournament because we got to save room for the medal or the plaque and all the other stuff to come bring it back.
I remember I'm like in 7th grade going to high school tournaments, double bracketing, just beating everybody. You just hear these names.
Chance Marsteller!
Who is this kid?
He was like an urban legend, and I was coaching at the time. We had some kids who were talking like he's gonna be, you know, the next 4-time national champ. I think he was only in 8th grade.
I remember hearing about Chance when he was in middle school because he was entering college opens and winning matches. And he became, you know, mythological at that point.
Yeah, so we're on our way back over to day 2 at Tulsa Nationals, one of the toughest kids tournaments in the country. Amen. Hey, boys, fast, strong, start early, score early, wrestle on the edge. Stellar trained my club. We brought out about 13 kids. Gritty, mean, all right? Mentally involved in the match, the whole match. All right, go out and take it today. What's yours? All right? 1, 2, 3, win. All right. Nice, there it is. 1. I was lucky enough to have a club coach that was one of the greatest of all time, one of the toughest states of all time. So my club coach was a 4-time undefeated Pennsylvania state champ. So like people make sure to let you know like this is who you're wrestling for.
Cary Kolat.
Like he was mean, he was brutal, he was creative.
I remember stuff like this growing up with Kolat. You know, my first trip with him when I was 10 and under going to Tulsa. Spread shit over, take your time. I remember going to eat that night, I just remember Kolat like, kind of like throws his fork on his plate. It's just like, I hate losing. Off your butt.
Fingers.
My reputation started to grow as I listened and bought into what my club coach was telling me to do. Like Kolat was like, you go to a tournament, like don't wrestle 10U. If you're 10, wrestle 12U. When I was 11, you go in the 12U brackets and the 15U brackets. Go get as many matches as you can. That 100 matches a year when I was 9 quickly turned into 250, 300 matches a year for the next 4 years.
I think Chance, his training and his skill sets and his technique were just a generation ahead of everybody else at the time. The way he was beating guys and the techniques that he was using, it's almost like his body was built for wrestling, and his mind was a one-track mind. Everything was related around getting better at wrestling, competing against the best.
Cary's on the phone, he's like, what do you really want to do in this sport? So I wrote down, like, I wanted to be an Olympic gold medalist and a world champion. And I was 10 years old when I wrote those goals.
What's the ultimate goal for you?
Olympic gold medal, 2016.
That was the moment I decided to shift my life into primarily just wrestling.
Get some fakes and movements, fakes and half shots that set up a deep attack. Fakes, good. Yeah. Chance, you're gonna be trouble there. It's based in movement. You know, you get down there and you recover.
Yeah, I saw his abilities just in practice, little things and little moments that I took notice on just how good he really is. It was how he moved. His body would react to a certain shot that came his way on the left side, you know. It was his decision making in spur of the moment situations while he was wrestling that I noticed, like, wow, his wrestling IQ is off the charts. I appreciated that.
So the first time I heard about Chance Marsteller, we were out at the Olympic Training Center, and he was this phenom high school kid that was winning everything. Then I got to watch him wrestle. I'm like, this kid is the truth, and I know he's going to make it very, very high to all the different levels in college and senior level, and then the story plays out a little bit different after that.
So my name's Andrew Barnett. I used to go to high school with Chance. We were teammates, really good friends, more or less like brothers. And being a young kid, I just thought he was the coolest person ever. The fact that he was down to come to my house and hang out with me and then take me to a practice. And even like not knowing that he was a good wrestler, but seeing the respect that he got from the coaches. You're 16 years old, you're leading everyone in this room. These adults are listening to you. You must know what you're doing. If I'm not mistaken, too, he lived on Marsteller Road. His family, I believe, was a big farm family.
Describing, Marsteller Farm on Marsteller Road, part of the Marstellers. It was, a very rural part of southern Pennsylvania. We spent our summers working the farm. We helped in the fall. We helped in the spring.
Growing up from a young age, we had a family farm. I think hard work was instilled in our entire family.
That really meant all of your summers were now taken up by picking sweet corn, selling sweet corn, picking up and selling pumpkins. Chance definitely was a better salesman at the time, and I was the labor behind the scenes.
I was the salesman. I was the 8, 9-year-old kid out in the front yard as our lead person selling the pumpkins.
They owned a lot of property, and at the back end of his parents' property, there was a barn with 2 full-size mats. This photo would be from Chance's barn. I think we're all in middle school at the time. We were running practices. We were running clinics. We would have people come from Harrisburg, Baltimore, up in the Lehigh Valley, on weeknights, on school nights in the middle of the school year to come down and train with us. Charged money for, I guess, but people were so willing to offer that without asking, you know what I mean? Because you have that world-class talent in a small town of a population of like 600 people. The draw was crazy. It was awesome, and it was right in our backyard.
Then he hits the high school scene, he just runs through everybody.
The most talked about rising freshman of the year, Chance Marsteller, Newport, Pennsylvania.
And #1, Chance Marsteller. I mean, what do you say about him?
He's Apollo Creed right now.
Yeah, he's a prodigy.
70 pounds, that's your #1 seed, Chance Marsteller with a lightning quick takedown right off the whistle. Snaps it down, there's another shot. Takes it across. And the thing about him is he does not stop attacking the whole entire time.
And then you see this kid in a duel. Everyone else on our team, we weren't a big wrestling school. Kids are struggling having matches because no one can score a takedown. Then you have this other kid coming out, Chance, and he's tech falling guys in 45 seconds.
And that's going to be a tech fall for Chance Marsteller. This kid is tough.
That's like, oh, he's really good.
He's really good.
Any mat that he's on, any match, whatever round, as soon as he wrestles, it just seems that people congregate around there. They want to see it.
My dad, he was like, this Chance Marsteller guy, like, he's super good. He's coming to your school tonight. And I'm like, I've never heard of him. Didn't really care much about the fact that he was coming to my school.
Even the balcony is lined with people.
One, I like the attention. I like the spotlight.
Marsteller going to work.
So then that night, I was just there to watch. And Chance was like warming up, and he's like doing the whole smacking his face and smacking his legs and all this stuff. It just seemed like, I don't know, so extra to me. I was like, what is he doing?
He does. He fires off another shot from the outside. Same one. Takedown. He's getting backs here, looking for a fall. Chance Marsteller. Oh, I think that's it.
And he almost has it down to a science, almost.
Like after the match was over, everybody was getting pictures with him and like asking him to like sign stuff. I didn't quite understand like the hype.
He was undefeated PA, 4-time state champion. It's pretty unheard of.
Wrestling needs people who are bigger than life because it's not football, it's not basketball, it's not baseball. In high school, Chance Marsteller was bigger than life.
We're looking at a pretty special kid here with, a really bright future ahead.
At Hershey, when you get your gold medal, kids are allowed to come down on the floor and ask for your autograph. And Chance would be like wading through crowds of kids to get his autograph.
My 4 Pennsylvania state titles was never a goal of mine. I always looked at it as these are stepping stones to the milestone.
He was the best. I mean, the records go to show for it. He was a phenom from the time that he first stepped on the mat, but it definitely came at a price. The upbringing was definitely traumatic.